Hello. Hello. Resident Evil. There we go. I'm gonna finish this. Actually, new layer. Okay, that's enough. This one's... Hello, Gaius Winston. Hello. Why not join the page? I'm so early. Wait, what time zone are you in? If it's okay to ask, of course. If it's not, then you know. This will do nicely. This is my blueprint. Oh. Wait. 4 a.m. or p.m.? Okay. Let's start the sketch. I'm gonna start the sketch. Would you like to have some music to me drawing, or is silence okay? Would you like to see some... Hello, not here. Music? Or just silent sketching? You decide. It's not really responding as I like to. When I start going quicker. It's not really a problem I've got on paper. Music. Okay. Let's turn on some music. Okay. You're not music. You're also not music. Oh. I guess that's music, but let's start with something... Ah, that's nice. Painting miniatures. Oh, wild quill, majestic. Xenogears music. Oh, I I don't know. I'm afraid I don't know. Hello. Not here. Well, we have a few things today. I hope I hope you can hear me. Let's see. What? How are you? Hello? Wait, hold on. It is really loud. That's right. Let me see. How? Okay. It should be. It should be better now. Yeah. Oh boy. Alright, let's see what the next music is. Nope, that's copyrighted. We stopped it just in the nick of time. Well, that was short. Oh, okay, that one's very good. Perfect. Duck. Uh. Huh? Okay. How is everyone today? Okay, pretty good. I had the same lamb. And you? I... Good question. How am I? How am I? I don't know how I am today. Oh. Trademark incoming. Oh wait. Yes, that's right. Trademark incoming. Dracula Castle, Valkyrie, Grandia. Okay. Song? That's understandable. Is it understandable? Okay. I'm good going for dinner. See ya folks around later. Okay, I'll see you, Moose Watcher. I'm at work. Okay. This is so annoying. Oh. Okay. Now it's done. Okay, we're done with this for now. And in a moment we will continue what we did last time. We're going to continue doing the translation of the panel. We'll see how that goes. What am I looking for? Copy this.
zaczęła postrzegać.
So we continue where we left off. We're gonna do one more topic. And then we're gonna move on to something else. I hope people remember what was going on yesterday. No. The day before yesterday. I hope people remember. I see. Actually, do we need to trigger it? There we go. Now we're ready to translate the works. Let's see where we've ended up last time.
Postrzegać Rzeczpospolitą jako swoją wielką ojczyznę. Taką, którą oni są związani, którą wspólnie będą bronić.
We've already been here.
Wspólnie z innymi członkami tej Rzeczpospolitej i będą wspólnie rządzić. Tego dosyć szybko się nauczą. I to było też bardzo trwałe.
Dziękuję.
All right, we can start translating from here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Panowie, cieszę się, że wybrzmiały tutaj pewne elementy.
I'm really glad that certain elements were focused on here.
Ponieważ we wspomnianej debacie publicznej
Because in the before mentioned public debate,
niektóre terminy
some terms
są upraszczane,
are extremely simplified
są traktowane też często anachronicznie, a nasze
and are treated anachronically. I need to translate this. This one word I need to translate. You're treated anachronistically, that seems to be the word. Okay then.
spotkania są również po to, aby tutaj przedstawiać.
And these meetings that we're having here also serve the purpose of showing
stanowisko specjalistów w danej.
These sort of meetings are created to showcase the perspective of experts.
W dziedzinie stanowisko historyków.
Historians.
Tutaj pan dr Kroll już poniekąd zahaczył tematykę mojego.
Dr. Kroll has sort of touched upon the topic
drugiego pytania,
of my second question,
które dotyczy miejsca ziem ukrainnych w systemie. politycznym
which is about the place of Ukrainian land within the political system
Rzeczypospolitej.
of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Chciałbym panów zapytać,
I would like to ask both of you,
w jaki sposób oddziaływały one na stosunki wewnętrzne?
how did Ukrainian lands affect internal affairs?
Jak król wykorzystywał je w swojej polityce nominacyjnej?
How did the king take advantage of those lands in his politics?
Czy dochodziło do rywalizacji o nadanie na tym obszarze?
Was there any rivalry when it came to who reigned in those lands?
Bo jak wiemy, no magnateria w XVII wieku Ukrainę traktowała
As we know, the magnates, we're gonna say the magnates,
jako niejakie Eldorado. Mówi, że Bóg dał nam te obyczaje, mniej więcej do tego się to sprowadzało. Kolejny element to gospodarstwuje Ukrainę, a moralistycznych Szymona Starowolskiego. Eldorado, rywalizacji o nadanie na tym obszarze, bo jak wiemy, no magnateria
as you know, the magnates
w XVII wieku
in the 17th century
Ukrainę traktowała jako
has treated Ukraine as a sort of Eldorado.
niejakie Eldorado. Widzimy to chociażby w pismach moralistycznych
We can see it in the moralistic texts
Szymona Starowolskiego, gdzie
of Szymon Starowolski,
mówi, że Bóg dał nam
in which he says, God has given us
tę Ukrainę, a
Ukraine,
tutaj szlachta
and the nobility,
psuje obyczaje, mniej więcej
and the nobility is spoiling the nobility is spoiling customs, I guess. So the nobility is spoiling the good customs in Ukraine.
do tego się to sprowadzało. Kolejny element to gospodarka.
Another element is economy.
Faktycznie ziemie ukrainne były takim spichlerzem, że
The Ukrainian lands were the granary of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Rzeczypospolitej. A odwołując się do chociażby wcześniejszych historiografii, czy można
And to go back to earlier historiography,
przez to postrzegać je jako spichlerz całej Europy.
it was also viewed as the granary of the entirety of Europe.
Kolejna kwestia to obronność stosunków
And another aspect is the defensibility,
międzynarodowe i
international relations, or rather foreign affairs,
kultura Rzeczypospolitej.
and the culture of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Co te ziemie wnosiły,
What did those lands, Ukrainian lands, add?
czy co zmieniały w tych aspektach? Panie
What did
doktorze,
they-
proszę.
What did they change in those aspects? Doctor, please. The floor is yours.
Jeszcze pana o rozwinięcie tych wątków.
I would like you to expand on these topics, if possible.
Ziemie niewątpliwie bogate.
They were undoubtedly rich lands,
Rozległe,
huge and rich lands.
przez dłuższy czas nieuprawiane.
For the longest time, no agriculture was happening there.
Były tym, co rzeczywiście przyciągało różnego rodzaju inwestorów, nazwijmy to inwestorami.
The land indeed has attracted many, let's call them investors,
Którzy chcieli tam zakładać wsie,
who
miasta,
wanted to establish little cities, hamlets, and villages.
i czerpać korzyści z tej gospodarki.
From which they wanted to draw profit.
Rzeczywiście to było tak, że nie mamy czegoś takiego jak masowy napływ szlachty polskiej na tę ziemię.
We don't really have a massive influx of Polish nobility to those lands.
Napływ był, ale trudno go nazwać
There was an influx, but it was hard to call it mass influx.
masowym. Za to, co spowodowało taką wymianę ruskiej magnaterii
That which caused an exchange of Lithuanian magnates
na magnaterię koronną, to
to the magnates of the crown
było wymieranie rodów ruskich, tych wielkich
was the dying out of the great Lithuanian houses.
rodów ruskich. Przypomnijmy, że do drugiej połowy XVIII wieku
Let me remind that up until the second part of the 17th century,
w zasadzie wiśniowieckimi, to z tych dawnych rodów ruskich
except for Wiśniewieccy,
w zasadzie już nikt się nie ostał. Ostatni
there were not many of the old Lithuanian magnate houses.
potomek rodu Zasławskich, Ostrogskich umiera w latach 70.
The last representatives of the house of
W zasadzie już nikt się nie ostał. Ostatni potomek rodu Zasławskich, Ostrogskich
Zasławski Ostrowski has died in the 70s.
umiera w latach 70. Pozostałe rody wymarły wcześniej. Ich
The other great houses have died out earlier.
miejsce zajęły rody koronne.
And so their place was taken by the great houses of the crown. So Polish.
Często to dzięki polityce rozdawnictwa tych wielkich pustek prowadzonych przez Zygmunta III, często
A lot of the time it was because of the giving out of big amounts of land by Zygmunt III
poprzez związki małżeńskie
through marriage
z córkami tych wielkich rodów ruskich.
and through marriage with the daughters of those great Lithuanian houses.
Jeśli chodzi zaś o rolę polityczną,
When it comes to the political role,
pamiętajmy o tym, że tutaj te wielkie rody odgrywały naprawdę wielką rolę.
let's remember that the great houses' role was really big.
I to one kontrolowały sejmiki szlacheckie.
And it was them that countered the noble seims, or rather little seimiki.
Bardzo często ta szlachta, szczególnie kijowska czy wrocławska, była
It was often that the Bracławska and Kiev nobility was
bardziej uległa wobec
much more subservient
patronów
to the
magnackich.
patrons who were the magnates.
Oczywiście rody magnackie toczyły walki polityczne.
And of course, the magnate houses have had their own political fights that they fought amongst themselves
O opanowanie sejmików, o stworzenie instrukcji korzystnych dla siebie.
to create a political to basically shift the political winds in their favor.
Ale to odgrywano w obrębie tych wielkich rodów.
But all of that was played within the scene of the great magnate houses.
Nie wspomniany przeze mnie sejmik łódzki był takim sejmikiem nastawionym.
The mentioned by me before, łódzki sejmik was this sort of example of
Na taką walkę szlachty średniej
a fight between the middle nobility
z magnatarią i
and the magnates.
Szlachcie się udawało wygrywać, szczególnie w latach.
And sometimes the middle nobility was able to win, especially
20. i 30.
in the 20s and in the 30s.
Szlachta ruska włączyła się w tą kulturę polityczną.
The Lithuanian nobility has entered this political atmosphere. Hello, Bill Portley.
No, ale też przy okazji
But along the way,
skupiała się głównie na swoim własnym interesie.
But along the way, the Lithuanian nobility focused mainly on its own interest.
A nie oszukujmy się, to było bardzo ważne, bo pamiętajmy o tym,
And let's not kid ourselves, it was very important because
że tylko te ziemie były narażone na najazdy tatarskie.
only those lands were actually in danger of being raided by the Tatars.
Na samowolę magnaterii, które
And only those lands were endangered at risk of the magnates doing what they wanted,
która korzystała z faktu, że ze słabości aparatu administracyjnego,
which took advantage of the weak administration system within these lands,
królewskiego i swojej dominującej pozycji na tych ziemiach
and also took advantage of their dominant status within these lands.
i prowadziła swoją własną politykę wewnętrzną,
So they led their own internal politics.
wypierając tych mniejszych właścicieli
So they wanted to push out the smaller landowners, which were from the lesser nobility,
z ich dóbr i zaokrąglając swoje własne dobra, co też
and to make their own estates bigger,
powodowało taką właśnie wzmocnienie tej dominującej roli magnaterii
which caused the strengthening of the dominant role of the magnates
na tych ziemiach, co
in
też
these lands,
wpływało negatywnie na kulturę polityczną Rzeczypospolitej,
which also negatively affected the entire political atmosphere of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
dlatego że ta kultura wyrosła na tych ruchu średniej szlachty doby
Because the political movement in the Polish-Lithuanian government has grown on the backs of the middle nobility,
ruchu egzekucyjnego, tej równowagi pomiędzy wszystkimi trzema stanami,
and the balance between the three estates or classes, as I would call it,
w Rzeczpospolitej,
in
czyli
the Commonwealth.
stanami sejmującymi, Izbą Poselską, Senatem i Królem,
So between the king, between the king, between the Chamber of Deputies, and
Pospolitej, czyli stanami
Sejm.
sejmującymi, Izbą Poselską, Senatem i Królem,
no wait,
Pospolitej, czyli stanami sejmującymi, Izbą Poselską, Senatem
between the Chamber of Deputies,
i Królem,
Senate, and the king. There we go.
Tutaj pojawienie się tej silnej, wpływowej grupy magnaterii
The appearance of this strong, influential magnate group
zaburzyło trochę ten
has disturbed this order a bit.
ekosystem
has disturbed this political ecosystem
polityczny państwa polskiego.
of
Jeśli
the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
zaś chodzi o gospodarkę, ziemie te były bardzo odległe od tych miejsc, które
And when it comes to economy, these lands were very, very far away from those places that
którymi można było transportować zboże gdzieś dalej.
you could transport. Those lands were very far away from places where you could transport grain further.
Ale pamiętajmy o tym, że Ukraina dostarczała 3 takie bardzo ważne, strategiczne, przynajmniej w jednym wypadku,
Let's remember that Ukraine has delivered 3 strategic things.
produkty, a mianowicie
3 strategic products.
ogromną ilość stad bydła, które wypasano
A lot of cattle
na stepach na Wrocławszczyźnie czy na Podolu, albo na południowych rejonach Rusi Czerwonej.
which were, in various regions.
No i które potem przeganiano chociażby na Śląsk, czy też nawet i do południowych Niemiec. Drugą taką bardzo ważną rzeczą,
which also were spread all the way to southern Germany.
i właśnie to jest ten produkt strategiczny, to są konie, które hodowano.
The other huge strategic product were horses that were bred in Ukraine.
Których zaopatrywano jazdę polską, służącą
And those horses were used for the Polish cavalry
w Armii Królewskiej.
in the King's Army.
I trzeci taki też ważny produkt to potash,
And of course, the third very important strategic product was
który był elementem królewskiej. I trzeci taki też ważny produkt to potash, który był
I cannot hear what he said.
elementem Armii Królewskiej. I trzeci taki też ważny produkt to potash. Służącą w Armii Królewskiej. I trzeci taki też ważny produkt to potash.
The third important product was what? Let's hear him.
Który był elementem wykorzystywanym, tym produktem wykorzystywanym do produkcji smoły.
Okay. So the third very important product was a product used to create tarp. Oh, Jesus. To create tar. There you go. A product used to create tar was another important strategic product. So we have 3 in total.
Wypasano na stepach na Wrocławszczyźnie czy na Podolu, albo na południowych rejonach Rusi Czerwonej, które potem przeganiano chociażby na Śląsk, czy też nawet i do południowych strategicznych. To są konie, które był chociażby saletrę, takich eksportowych, wykorzystywanym do produktu potash, który był elementem wykorzystywanym, tym produktem wykorzystywanym do produkcji smoły.
Okay, the thing that was used to create tar. Okay.
To jeden z takich eksportowych towarów Ukrainy. Ale też
it was an export product of Ukraine.
do tego dołożyć można chociażby saletrę, którą wydobywano na Lewobrzeżu.
And of course you can also add to this saletra, which in English is salt nitrate, I guess, nitrate.
Saletra była wykorzystywana do do produkcji prochu.
which was used to create powder.
Więc były to ziemie, z których rzeczywiście czerpano duże zyski.
So it was a land from which huge profit was extracted.
Ziemie bardzo płodne, w związku z tym
The ones were very the lands were very fertile. These lands were very fertile.
przynoszące duże dochody, a zboże sprzedawano
They gave great profit
tam, gdzie można było sprzedawać, czyli na tych rynkujące duże dochody, a zboże sprzedawano
and grain was sold
tam, gdzie można było sprzedawać, czyli na tych
wherever it could be sold.
rynkach bliższych, tych na Rusi
So closed markets like Red Ruthenia
Czerwonej, czy też w tych bliższych miastach koronnych, chociaż magnateria
or the cities that were closer to the crown. Although the magnates,
ukraińska zawierała
although the Ukrainian magnates also signed contracts
kontrakty z Gdańskiem
with Gdańsk,
i wykorzystując transport chłopski, czyli
and by using peasant transport,
wody,
which was water transport,
transportowała te produkty
transported the products
rolne z własnych dóbr do tam, gdzie można było już te
from their own estates, where they could be exported further.
dobra spławiać, czyli gdzieś w rejonie rzeki Bugu czy San. Zaś jeśli chodzi o obronność, to był
When it comes to defensibility,
trudny temat.
that was a very difficult topic.
Do dziś wszyscy historycy uważają, że
And to this day, all historians think
włączenie województwa kijowskiego
that incorporating the Kiev region
do korony,
to the Commonwealth
inkorporacja kijowszczyzny, to był duży błąd
was a big mistake,
poczyniony na Sejmie Lubelskim.
which was done during the Pact of Lublin.
W ten sposób korona oparła się granicą o państwo moskiewskie.
Because by doing so, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth's border started touching with the border of the Moscow country.
I konflikty, które do tej pory były konfliktami litewsko-moskiewskimi,
And the conflicts that up to that moment were Lithuanian-Moscow conflicts,
korona mogła być zaangażowana, ale tylko militarnie, nagle stała
which the crown could just participate in militarily,
się zaangażowana w pełni.
became a direct conflict between the crown and Moscow.
Pamiętajmy o tym, że te ziemie były narażone na ataki tatarskie.
Let's remember that those lands were at all times very exposed to the attacks from the Tatars.
Non-stop trzeba było tak naprawdę bronić tych terenów.
These lands had to be protected non-stop and they had to be observed.
Dać się, czy Orda nie zamierza wtargnąć. Oczywiście to
If the Ord does not want to invade,
wiązało się tylko ze zniszczeniami, ale
which, depending on how you look at it, only meant destruction or meant as much as destruction.
Nie możemy mówić o jakiejś aneksji tych ziem. Za to
But the attempts of the Tatars was not to annex any land, it was just to cause destruction, basically. So, depending on how you view it, it was only devastation and not annexation, or if you look at it another way, it was horrible devastation, which was also bad on its own.
też poważnym problemem były stosunki z Turcją.
And of course, there was a serious problem with the relations with the Ottoman Empire,
które psuły się
which became worse.
Poprzez działalność kozaków.
Which became worse because of the activity of the Zaporozhian Cossacks.
Ich najazdy powodowały
Their raids.
Poważne zagrożenie dla pokoju polsko-tureckiego.
The raids have caused serious degradation of peace between the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth and the Ottoman Empire.
Przypomnijmy, że w roku 1620-20
And let's remember that in the years 1620, 1621.
Pierwszym doszło do tych zdarzeń, z których jednym z powodów był między innymi owe najazdy.
We had an incident which was caused, among other things, by the Zaporozhian Cossack raids.
Kozackie, z którymi Rzeczpospolita nie radziła sobie, czy nie była w stanie.
Which the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth had no real way to stop.
Co też powodowało pewne zadrażnienia.
Which caused certain tensions between the Commonwealth and the Ottoman Empire.
Za to, jeśli chodzi o państwo moskiewskie, to
when it comes to the Duchy of Moscow,
szlachta ruska, tak,
the Lithuanian nobility,
kozacy,
the Cossacks,
wykazywali tej bardzo dużą lojalność wobec Rzeczpospolitej.
Were extremely loyal to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
I nigdy, poza jakimiś może jednostkowymi przykładami,
and they basically never,
w dobie Wielkiej Smuty nie dochodziło do czegoś takiego jak zdrada na rzecz cara moskiewskiego.
And basically the Cossacks or the Lithuanian nobility have never betrayed the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in to basically work with the Moscow Tsar,
z którym łączyły mieszkańców ziem ukraińskich chociażby wiara czy wspólne pochodzenie.
Even though technically speaking they were of the same faith and origins possibly.
Etniczne. Więc był to taki rejon dosyć problematyczny.
It was a little bit of a problematic area,
jeśli chodzi o Rzeczpospolitą.
When it comes to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
A szczególnie w tym okresie, kiedy te tereny zostały skolonizowane, nasiliła się
especially when those lands were colonized and
działalność kozaków zaporowskich.
The activity of the Zaporozhian Cossacks intensified.
Którzy przenieśli się z Siczy na ziemię skolonizowane, zasiedlone, czyli tak zwaną Ukrainę chorodową.
So they moved from Sich to the newly colonized lands.
Fakt, że te ziemie stanowiły taki klin pomiędzy Tatarami a Turcją.
And of course, these lands were a bit of a wedge between the Tatars and the Ottoman Empire.
Powodowały jakieś problemy pomiędzy Rzeczpospolitą a
have caused also problems between the Commonwealth
Imperium Osmańskim czy jego
and the Ottoman Empire
lennikiem Hanatem Krymskim
and the Crimean the Crimean Khanate.
Może nie tyle ziemię, co obywatele Rzeczpospolitej, czyli kozacy.
Well, maybe not, the lands were not the wedge, but the citizens of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, namely the Cossacks.
Zaś jeśli chodzi o stosunki międzynarodowe,
When it comes to foreign affairs,
to poza Turcją
apart from the Ottoman Empire
i takim próbą ingerencji czy budowania swoich strefy wpływów
and an attempt to interfere and build the sphere of interest
w gospodarstwach naddunajskich, czyli nad Mołdawii i Wołoszczyźnie, to ziemie ukraińskie odgrywały taką mniejszą rolę.
Ukrainian lands had a lesser role when it came to international relationships.
W tych stosunkach. One aktywnie uczestniczyły w różnego rodzaju wojnach.
Ukraine was an active participant in many wars.
Były te ziemie, które dostarczały największą ilość ochotników do armii.
That was actually the place that have given the biggest number of volunteers to the army.
Koronnej, co zresztą boleśnie odczuto po roku 1648.
Which was painfully felt after the year 1648.
Więc bardziej angażowano się w tę sferę polityki militarnej.
So it was mostly engaged in the politics of military
niż stosunki międzynarodowe, aczkolwiek
rather than foreign affairs. Although
wielu przedstawicieli miejscowych rodów
many representatives of the local houses
brało udział w tym życiu politycznym
did take place in the wider political life
Rzeczpospolitej
of the Commonwealth
kreowaniu polityki zagranicznej
and in the creation of foreign policy.
Dziękuję. Panie
Thank you. Professor,
profesorze, jaka jest pana opinia?
what is your opinion when it comes to this topic?
Muszę powiedzieć, że zgadzam się z głównymi nurtami mowy pana doktora,
I have to say that I agree with the main threads of what the doctor said.
Jednak nie ze wszystkimi zdaniami.
But I have to say that I do not agree with everything. We're seeing some disagreement. We are seeing some disagreement.
I teraz chcę skupić się na takich trzech rzeczy
And now I would like to focus on three things.
ważnych. Pan
Important things.
doktor powiedział, iż z stworzeniem Rzeczypospolitej Ukraina weszła w strefę
Doctor said that when the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was formed, Ukraine entered
europejskiej kultury
Ukraine entered the European sphere of politics.
politycznej. Nie wchodziła.
It didn't.
Zawsze była w tej strefie.
It was always in that sphere.
I w okres średniowiecznej Rusji
And the era of the Middle Ages Lithuania,
Królestwa Ruskiego,
the Kingdom of Lithuania,
i po prostu wejście w Rzeczpospolitą, w ten
and entering the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth
organizm nowy, państwowy, przedłużył te tendencje.
sort of destroyed those tendencies.
Nie dał zginąć tej głównej tendencji.
Oh,
Ten organizm nowy, państwowy, przedłużył te tendencje.
awakened those tendencies.
Nie dał zginąć
Did not allow those tendencies to die. Okay, that makes sense.
tej głównej tendencji. Dlatego że nie Rzeczpospolita stworzyła
So the Commonwealth did not create
умови для вещи,
this political climate,
а попросту пролонгувала.
but rather boosted it or continued it.
То wszystko, a jednak wpływ kultury politycznej i parlamentarnej Rzeczypospolitej był bardzo duży.
Of course, the parliamentary system's effect on Ukrainian lands was very huge.
Rzeczpospolita była recipientem
The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was the recipient
od wpływów europejskich.
of the European influence.
I właśnie Ukraina wtedy już przez
And Ukraine back then,
Rzeczpospolitą
through the Commonwealth, received
przyjmowała te wpływy
those influences,
europejskie,
European influences,
a nie bezpośrednio, jak to było
and not directly as it was
do środku XIV wieku.
to till the middle of the 14th century.
Drugi wątek
The second thing
mam taki, i że pan doktor powiedział,
the good doctor said that
że to był błęd taki
there was a mistake
podczas Sejmu Lubelskiego
during the Pact of Lublin
wcielić województwo
to enter the Kiev, to incorporate the Kiev region
kijowskie w skład Rzeczypospolitej,
to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth,
dlatego, że to zaowocowało skutkami różnymi z Moskwą,
because it created many difficulties with Moscow,
z tatarskim Krymem, z
with the Tartarian Crim, and
Turcji i tak dalej.
so on.
A to akurat nie był błąd, żadny
I don't think it was a mistake at all.
błąd. Najpierw tylko w taki sposób można było utworzyć tu równowagę.
It was the only way to create a balance
W tym regionie.
in this region.
I w XVII wieku
In the 17th century,
tak z polskiej strony, tak z
in the 17th century, as much from the Polish side as the Lithuanian side,
ruskiej strony, a potem i kozacy
and then Cossacks
w drugiej połowie XVII
in the second part of the 17th century,
wieku uznawali,
have accepted
iż czynnik Rosji
that the Lithuanian element
jest decydujący
is decisive
w tym w ukształceniu
in creating this balance,
tej równowagi. I za kim pójdzie Ruś,
and that whomever Lithuania follows,
za ta strona będzie zwyciężyła
that side will win
geopolitycznie.
geopolitically.
I bez województwa kijowskiego,
And without the Kiev region,
bez tego, żeby świat ruski w całości
without the entirety of the Lithuanian world
okazał się w jednym worku,
was united and in the crown,
nie można było zdążyć do utworzenia tej równowagi.
we would not have been able to make, we would not have been fast enough to create this balance.
Inna rzecz,
Another thing
że tutaj Polska musiała poradzić silnikom
that
tatarskim, a tureckim.
another thing that the Polish people now had to deal with the Tatars and the Ottomans.
Ja też nie zgadzam się z panem doktorem,
But I still don't agree with the doctor
iż to tylko na Brasowszczyźnie i Kijowszczyźnie te Tatary najeżdżali.
that the Tatars only actually attacked those lands.
Polska mała do czynienia z tym, z kwestią tatarską i
Poland actually did have to deal with the Tatars.
під Люблінням, під Przemyślem.
near Lublin and Przemysl.
От, наїжджали навіть до
Tatars actually reached that far,
тих зем. І мимо того,
and in spite of that,
jeżeli tak wyobrazić, żeby województwo kijowskie nie zostało włączone
if we would imagine the Kiev region not being incorporated
do Rzeczypospolitej,
to the Commonwealth,
wszystko jedno.
it's all the same.
Musiałaby rozwiązywać tą kwestię.
The crown would still have to solve these issues.
Trzecia rzecz,
The third thing,
i że pan doktor coś tak powiedział,
a doctor said a little bit that
iż kozacy nigdy tak nie
the Cossacks never
zdradzali na rzecz Moskwy.
really betrayed the Commonwealth to Moscow.
А тільки там podczas smuty
Maybe a little bit in the Smuta time,
jakieś tam znamiona
a little bit.
pojawiali się. Nie było tych znamion. Podczas smuty
There was no such thing within the Smuta.
kozacy walczyli na terenach Moskwy,
The Cossacks fought within the terrains of Moscow.
najeżdżali aż do Archangelska,
They went very far.
a potem podczas wyprawy królewicza Władysława na
And later, during the Princess
Moskwę,
Władysław,
to Sagайдачний podczas wyprawy królewicza Władysława na
during the Prince Władysław's ride to Moscow,
Moskwę, to
ride
Sagайдачний
on Moscow.
pisał akurat do królewicza, ten list jest bardzo dobrze wiadomy,
I have to listen to this again.
akurat do wyprawy królewicza Władysława na Moskwę, to Sagайдачний pisał akurat do królewicza, ten list jest bardzo dobrze wiadomy, i trzeba do końca wyniszczyć to państwo i ten naród uparty pod majestat królewski, królewicza jego mości podwieźć. I bardzo był przejmowany tym, iż Polska poszła na rozejm deuliński.
Okay, so they were upset that Poland went for truce with.
Stosownie czynnika gospodarskiego, tutaj
So when it comes to the, I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear that. When it comes to economy,
zgadzam się, iż
I agree.
Україна мала bardzo duży potencjał gospodarczy,
Ukraine had a huge economic potential,
a jednak
And
Rzeczpospolita skorzystała z tego częściowo,
and yet the Commonwealth only took advantage of it partially.
tylko częściowo, wyłącznie częściowo. Z Wołynia,
From
Podola
Wołyń,
Zachodniego,
Western Podole,
a jednak z tych krajów kozackich
and from those Cossack lands,
nie zdążyła jeszcze skorzystać
did not manage to sort of get good use
z tego ogromnego
from the. We're not able to use the defensive potential.
potencjału. Już do środku XVII wieku już
By the middle of the 17th century,
podeszła do tego czasu, iż można będzie skorzystać z tego.
it was available to use.
Już ta kolonizacja magnacka,
The Magnate colonization,
która mała dużo negatywnych znamion,
which had many negative aspects,
a jednak w gospodarczym planie
and yet when it came to economy,
sukcesy były oczywiste,
the successes were obvious,
ogromne.
huge.
Kolonizacja posunęła na wschód,
The colonization has pushed east
i na południu bardzo
and south and to the south,
dużo.
and it gave us a lot.
Zagrażała istnieniu tak kozaków, jak i tatarskiego Krymu.
And of course endangered the Cossacks as well as the Tatars.
І для того хан Іслам Гірей поділ децизії zostać sojusznikiem Bogdana Chmielnickiego.
And that's why the Ottoman Empire decided to sort of befriend Bogdan Khmelnytsky.
Та колонізація загрожала істинню
Colonization sort of endangered
господарки кримської
of
до
the
тих
Crimean economy.
часової. І również загрожала існенню козачизни.
And of course, it also endangered the existence of the Cossacks.
Wojna środku XVII wieku sprawiła, iż Rzeczpospolita już nigdy nie skorzystała z tego potencjału. We wszystkich innych dziedzinach powiem tak, iż rozwój Rusi w składzie Rzeczypospolitej był organiczny jako członka
Oh wait, I have not been muted for long.
cywilizacji.
Wait, how long have I been?
Organiczny Rosji, iż
How long have I been muted? Okay, for a few seconds, thank God.
w wszystkich innych dziedzinach
On all other aspects,
powiem tak, iż
I'll say this.
rozwój Rusi
The development of Lithuania
w składzie Rzeczypospolitej
within the wider Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth
był organiczny
was organic
jako członka cywilizacji
as a member of the European civilization.
europejskiej. A jednak
And yet,
te niekorzystne warunki ustrojowe
those negative systemic issues
для Русі спровокували
for Lithuania have caused
кризис
a crisis,
України в складі Rzeczypospolitej.
and a crisis of Ukraine within the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
І та полонізація, про яку пан доктор мовив,
And the polonization that you have mentioned,
вона була попросту справом так звиклим.
it was a pretty normal thing
Для сполученства, które nie zostało zorganizowane
for a society that was not organized
в організм політичний.
into a political organism.
Powiem tak.
I'll say this.
Вилучення odrębność polityczna uniemożliwia polonizację elity. Wyłącznie odrębność polityczna, powiem tak. Wyłącznie odrębność polityczna uniemożliwia
Only a political independence would not allow
polonizację elity.
the polonization of the elite.
Księżęta ruskie, szlachta
The Lithuanian princes,
ruska skupili
the Lithuanian nobility
się w Lublinie na najniższym
have focused in Lublin
poziomie odrębności.
on the lowest form of independence.
захованню старожитності.
to keep the old ways.
І już на початку 17 віку
And already at the
was
beginning of the 17th century,
з вигашненням тих родів książęcych,
when those big houses faded,
пошла та одревність від наду.
that that separatedness went down.
І тільки козаці в шлютку 17 віку
And only the Cossacks in the middle of the 17th century
już podjęli działania
have made any attempts to
na odnowienie
renew this separation.
tej odrębności. Przy tym trzeba jeszcze powiedzieć,
But what has to be said in addition to this,
iż Warszawa
that Warsaw
też działała na to, żeby przyspieszyć tą polonizację.
also worked to hasten the polonization.
No i właśnie, jeżeli popatrzeć na to nie z
And if we look at it from
ukraińskiego punktu
not from the Ukrainian point of view,
widzenia, a z punktu widzenia
but from the point of view of
istnienia w ten okres różnych struktur państwowych,
the existence of various structures within that time,
różnych cięciach Europy, to był po prostu taki, to była sytuacja zwykła.
then it was a normal situation.
O wszystkim decydowała
Everything was decided by
zdolność elity ruskiej
the ability of the Lithuanian elite
przeciwstawić
to defy
swoją pozycję.
to sort of try to push forward for their own positions. There you go.
Nie zdążyła.
They did not make it.
Mamy list króla do Janusza Ostrowskiego,
You have the king Janusz Ostrowski,
w którym opublikowanym Henrykiem Wiesnerem, w którym król powiedział, iż
in which the king said,
pilno trzeba gromadzić książki ruskie.
wait,
Mamy list króla do Janusza Ostrowskiego, w którym opublikowanym Henrykiem
and there was a published work
Wiesnerem,
in
w którym
which
król powiedział, iż
the king said,
pilno trzeba gromadzić
we have to gather Lithuanian
książki ruskie
books
i palić.
and burn.
No, wiemy, dlaczego to się robiło. A bardzo dobrze
We know that was done.
widać to wszystko podczas włączenia Czernigowo-Siewieszczyzny do składu
It was during the incorporation of a certain land to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Rzeczypospolitej. Królewskie przywileje na Magdeburgię, miasto,
The king privileges in the Magdeburg city
Czernigowo-Siewieszczyzny, przedstawiali ten aspekt
have presented this aspect
językowy w taki
of the language in this way.
sposób, iż księgi
The books,
miejskie
the city books, the sort of documents
muszą być prowadzone w języku albo łacińskim dla
have to be written, kept either in Latin
niektórych miast, albo polskim
or in Polish
w kraju ruskim.
in Lithuania.
Ale podkreślam, że
I would like to stress
nie należy to traktować jako jakiś tam wybitny, jakiś to odrębny,
It should not be treated as some extra radical,
odrębne podejście
as a special kind of attitude
Warszawy do tego.
of Warsaw.
Wszystkie państwa korzystali
All
z
countries
tych mechanizmów.
have used those mechanisms.
I jeszcze chciałbym podkreślić, że
I would also add to stress
wszystko zależało od tego, co mogła powiedzieć
that everything depended on what
szlachta ukraińska, elita
the Ukrainian elite could say.
ukraińska. Uległa polonizacji.
It succumbed to polonization.
I to właśnie skutek tego, iż
And that was the result
w głowach tej szlachty
that in the heads of that nobility
było bardzo dobrze widać wygaśnienie tego instynktu
there was a dampening of this instinct
państwowości odrębnej.
of wanting to be a separate entity within the Commonwealth.
Ruskiej.
Lithuania.
Miała świadomość ojczyzny Rzeczypospolitej.
They had they were aware of the homeland, which was the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Utożsamiała siebie jako odrębny naród polityczny.
They sort of saw themselves as a separate political nation,
Naród ruski.
the Lithuanian nation.
Miała koncepcje polityczne,
It had political concepts,
a jednak nie miała
and yet it did not have
zdolności
the ability
to wszystko przedstawić jako
to present it all
program
as a program
przetworzenia, przekształcenia Rosji
to transform Lithuania
w składzie Rzeczypospolitej.
within the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth
Na odrębny właśnie subiekt polityczny.
into a separate part of the Union.
I moim zdaniem
And I think
właśnie pozycja, stanowisko szlachty
it was the position, the standing of the nobility
ruskiej
of Lithuania
zbliżyło Rzeczpospolitą.
has stirred the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
Dlatego, że bez tego członka trzeciego
Without this third member of the Union,
ona była wskazana na klęskę.
it was doomed to fail. I agree with this, by the way.
A ten, który musiał
And those who had to,
postawić taki
and those who had to push such a program forward,
postulat, nic nie zrobił dla tego.
they did nothing to do it.
Nie można było wymagać od Warszawy czy od Wilna
You could not expect it from Warsaw or Vilnius.
tego wszystkiego.
You could not expect it all from those places.
Dlaczego? Po co mieli to robić?
Why would they do it?
От. Мусила то зробити шляхта руська.
It had to be done by the Lithuanian nobility.
Не здążyło.
They didn't make it.
Потім пошло то wszystko так, як пошло.
And then it all went as it went.
Panie doktorze, czy chciałby pan kilka słów ad vocem?
Would you like to respond something, doctor? Now it's turning into a debate. Now it's a debate. My stomach hurts a bit.
Tak, do kilku rzeczy. Przede wszystkim
Yeah, I would like to add a few things. First of all,
patrząc na inkorporację tych ziem
looking at the incorporation of those lands
do korony.
to the crown.
Z jednej strony to było, można doszukać pewnych pozytywów, na przykład
You could see certain positives
to, że korona przejęła rolę obrońcy tych ziem, kontrolowania
that the crown has taken upon itself the role of the defender of these lands.
bezpieczeństwa i dbania
And the safety and taking care of the safety.
o bezpieczeństwo było korzystne dla tych ziem, dlatego że
It was good for these lands because
patrząc, co działo się w Wielkim Księstwie Litewskim,
looking back at what was happening in the Great Duchy of Lithuania
w XVI wieku,
in the 16th century,
w jego polityce obronnej na
in its defense policy
ziemiach południowych,
for the southern lands,
czyli na Ukrainie,
so Ukraine,
ewidentnie widać było, że to tamtejsi mieszkańcy bronią się z siłami swoimi, wspomagani przez naprawdę nieliczne oddziały
that Lithuania did not provide many troops to support the defense.
państwowe. Zupełnie inaczej to wyglądało w momencie, kiedy te ziemie zostały
It was a lot different when those lands were incorporated into the crown.
włączone do korony. Tam armia koronna,
The crown army,
stała armia była w
like the regular army,
stanie, była w stanie bronić tych ziem.
was able to defend those lands,
To zwiększyło obronność, ale z drugiej
which made its defensive capability bigger.
strony przyłącznie kijowszczyzn wepchnęło koronę taki bezpośredni.
But again, incorporating the Kiev region has pushed the crown into a direct conflict
Kontakty to jest bezpośrednie kontakty z Moskwą.
with
To jest oczywiście
Moscow.
to jest jedno z takich rzeczy, która sprawiła, że
And that was one of those things that led to
korona musiała zaangażować się w tą politykę.
the crown had to engage in politics with Moscow.
Pomijając fakt, że za czasów Zygmunta III zaangażowaliśmy się zupełnie z powodów prywatnych,
And I have to.
za czasów Zygmunta III zaangażował politykę. Pomijając fakt, że
Forgetting the fact that, putting aside the fact that during the Sigmund III,
za czasów Zygmunta III zaangażowaliśmy się
we have entered these relations for
zupełnie z powodów prywatnych
private reasons.
I realizując marzenia o zjednoczeniu tych dwóch państw.
By fighting for uniting those two countries.
Co do tych nielicznych przykładów zdrad,
When it comes to those not many situations of betrayal,
Rusinów na rzecz cara,
when it comes to those very rare moments of betrayal of Lithuania in favor of Moscow,
moskiewskiego, to jest w ogóle fenomen, bo
that was a
zwróćcie
phenomenon.
państwo uwagę, i korzenie etniczne, i wiara to jest coś, co
Like ethnic background and faith
łączy obydwa
was something that sort of connected both places.
obydwa etnosy, i moskiewski,
Moscow and
i ruski. A
Lithuanian.
Mimowsko Ruś uważa, że to są zupełnie dwie Rusie odrębne. A Mimowsko Ruś uważa etnosy, i moskiewski, i ruski. A Mimowsko Ruś uważa,
And Rush thinks
że
that
to są zupełnie dwie
those are two different Lithuanians.
Rusie odrębne i absolutnie pod żadnym pozorem nie zamierza
And that under no circumstances does it
podporządkowywać się
want to be subject
carowi moskiewskiemu.
to the Moscow Tsar.
Bo przypadki przechodzenia na służbę carską wśród
There were moments of serving the Tsar
kozaków
by
były
the Cossacks
to w latach 90. XVI
in the 90s of the 16th
wieku
century
i pod koniec Wielkiej Smuty przecież oddział
and by the end of the Great Sadness.
Bogdana Konszy pozostał na służbie carskiej zaraz po
And he described someone staying at the service of the Tsar.
zakończeniu owej słynnej wyprawy Królewicza Władysława na Moskwę i późniejsze osadnictwo
Later settlement
kozackie na terenach
of the Cossacks
późniejszej Ukrainy Słobockiej,
on the later Slobodska Ukraina.
czyli tej Ukrainy, która leżała tuż za granicami
So that Ukraine that was just beyond the borders
Ukrainy z państwem moskiewskim
of the Ukraine with the Moscow country
w XVII wieku. To dosyć
and the 17th
silne.
century.
Pamiętajmy o tym, że część powstańców z tego ostatniego powstania przed Bogdanem Chmielnickim, czyli
Let's remember that some of the people from the uprising before the Bogdan Khmelnytsky uprising
Strzałina i Huni szukała schronienia poza granicami,
looked for safety outside of the borders
właśnie poza granicami z Moskwą, przed represjami ze strony państwa polskiego. Jak się
to escape the repressions from the crown.
chcemy jeszcze jedną rzecz bardzo poruszyć.
I would like to touch upon one more thing,
W zasadzie dwie.
or rather two.
Jeżeli mówimy o polonizacji, to
When we speak of polonization,
pamiętajmy o tym, że to nie było nic narzucanego.
let's remember that it was not anything enforced.
To nie było coś jak taka sformalizowana polityka
It was not a formalized policy
narzucania języka polskiego
to enforce Polish language
elitom ruskim,
to
czy
the
też
Lithuanian elites
mieszkańcom
or the citizens,
ziem włączonych
to the incorporated lands,
do korony.
to the crown.
To było ich wybór. To
It was their choice.
oni zdecydowali, że będą
They've decided that they would
mówić w tym języku na
speak in that language
forum publicznym.
publicly.
Nie było żadnych restrykcji.
There were no restrictions.
W szkołach uczono i języka polskiego, ale uczono też języka ruskiego i na
In schools, people learn Polish, but also learned Lithuanian.
tym się w zasadzie opierano. A ten
And that was the main thing, that was the pillar of it.
język polski był jako taki język, w którym
The Polish language was as a language that
mieszkańcy Rusi mieli się porozumiewać z innymi, no bo
the Polish language was language through which Lithuanian people could communicate with others,
przecież ci inni mieszkańcy Rzeczpospolitej w
because other members of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth
języku ruskim nie mówili.
did not speak Lithuanian.
I ostatnia już rzecz,
And the last thing is,
to co tutaj już padło
which was already said,
w swoim wystąpieniu, o kolonizacji
about colonization,
Polski na tych ziemiach.
about the Polish colonization of these lands.
Nie możemy mówić o żadnej kolonizacji.
We cannot speak of any Polish colonization.
Nie mamy ani kolonizatorów takich
We don't
klasycznych,
have the classic colonizers,
jak konquistadorzy, bo często też takie sformowania się w tym dyskursie publicznym pojawiają. To, że pojawiali się tam chłopi
the fact that
i Rusty z Wołynia,
the Volyn peasants appeared there,
i
the Lithuanian Volyn peasants appeared there,
Rusty z Rusi
as
Czerwonej,
well as the Lithuanian peasants from the Red Lithuania,
i też i polscy z
and
terenu
also Polish peasants from
Lubelszczyzny, czy nawet
Lubelszczyzna
Mazowsza, czy Podlasia.
and Mazowsze and Podlasie.
To był ich wybór.
It was their choice.
To oni decydowali się ruszyć tam na południe,
They decided to move south
nie? Bo tam czekały na nich większe swobody.
because they felt more free there. More freedom awaited them there.
Pamiętajmy o tym, że wolnizny, czyli zwolnienie z różnego rodzaju powinności na rzecz
Let's remember that it came with being freed from certain responsibilities
właściciela danego terenu. Tam był
of owners of certain lands.
Długoletnie, nierzadko 30-40-letnie. A tam była większa swoboda, jeśli chodzi o życie.
So there was a bigger amount of freedom there when it came to life.
Tam można było łatwo uciec od zbyt restrykcyjnego pana.
So you could run there from a too restrictive master
Zbyt okrutnego.
that was too cruel.
Więc, a to, że przybywający tam na miejsce chłopi
So the fact that the peasants that went there
z terenów polskich szybko
from Polish territories
asymilowali z miejscową
quickly assimilated with the local population.
ludnością, no to był proces też dobrowolny, też
That was also out of their own free will.
nikt ich tam do tego nie zmuszał. To był,
Also, none of them were forced to assimilate with the local population.
trudno mówić o kolonizacji,
So it's hard to speak about any sort of colonization.
takim polityce kolonizacyjnej. To niewątpliwie możemy mówić o tym, że te ziemie były
But we can certainly say
kolonizowane, czyli zasiedlane
that those lands were colonized in the sense of being filled with a population
przez i magnaterię ruską,
by the Ruthenian
i
magnates,
szlachtę polską,
by Polish nobility,
i zasadźców wywodzących się z Polski, którą skoro
and people that came from Poland as well.
tych ziem centralnych, bo im łatwiej było się poruszać po tych ziemiach i namawiać chłopów.
So it was easier for them to move into these lands and sort of try to tell the peasants to come here as well.
Tego, żeby przenieśli się na te pustki na Ukrainie. Dziękuję.
Thank you.
Dziękuję. Przejdźmy teraz do spraw kozackich. Panie profesorze.
Okay, so I guess we will finish it here. We have tackled our second topic. So now I will thank you for watching the second part of this panel. I think we will do one topic per stream, and then we will move on to the next segment. So we did topic number 2. On the next stream we will tackle the topic of the Cossacks, which should be interesting. Look forward to that. Now we're going to take a little bit of a break. Break from the serious stuff, and we're gonna do I wanna quickly see the infamous thing between President Sunday and Stardust. Let's go. I have it here somewhere.
What the f?
Okay, let's see. Just gonna watch a fragment of it.
What the f?
So we're just gonna watch a bit of it. And if it's not interesting, then we're just gonna move on. Let's see. Let me see what's happening here.
Are you?
Yeah.
I think she's a minion.
I am a minion.
I know, no, I know it is, but like I was wondering if you turn on the
Guess we're doing this now.
Sunday. Turn on your
Hello.
screen. Hello.
Hello, give me one moment. It's not even
Yeah, no problem.
showing up on my end. There we go. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Stardust. Did you turn on some yellow filter? What the
No, this is makeup.
Oh, this is makeup? What
I see.
the are you
Yeah.
I think she's a minion. I think she's a minion.
I am a minion.
I know, no, I know it is, but like I was wondering if you turn on the Why?
I like minions.
Wait. All right. Okay. All right. Sunday. Why didn't you bring your own cosplay?
Yeah.
I thought we
I
agreed.
did bring my own. I did bring my own cosplay.
What's your cosplay?
Well, what do you think I'm wearing right now? You think I wear this in public? Dear God.
Wait, oh my god, we're all wearing like really fuzzy clothing. Isn't that so nice? Look at that.
What's
No
happening?
answer? No? Okay.
What?
All right.
Sorry, I was drinking water.
All right. Well,
I had
Okay.
a long day.
all right. Okay. So, might as well start. So, in the shell nut, this is food court, and yeah, we'll just begin right now. I am Food Chops, but you can just call me Kat. That'll be okay as well. And I'll be your moderator for this debate. I literally came up with the name Food Court, but I wasn't even the one who came up with this name. It was actually somebody from Sunday's viewer base named of Ob Cursus, who came up with the name from his Discord server. So much appreciated for that name. And yeah, shout out for sure. Other than that, basically, I think both of you guys have agreed to 15 minutes of opening statements. Would that be correct?
Sounds good.
Sunday, is that right?
That's fine by me.
Okay, and I think Stardust is also wants to use a slideshow, I think, for the opening statement. Would that also be correct?
You want to use a slideshow for the opening statement?
Yeah, it's a short one.
It's a little weird, but okay.
Okay, all right. And so the debate is unlimited time. So if you guys go on and debate for 7 hours on end, that is fine by me. And any kinds of super chats that go towards me or whatever the fuck will be read at the very end when you guys fizzle out of debate.
God.
All right. But you guys can, just end it
What
whatever.
is the topic of this debate again? What was this thing about?
And then it'll just be
It was
at the
about Stardust calling President Sunday a Nazi or something.
end when it fizzles out whenever I feel like it. Okay. So basically, at the end of the day, here's how my moderation style will go. Okay. My participation in moderation will be minimal. Okay, because I don't the content. Okay. And what will also happen is that I will only intervene when I feel like progress isn't being made, to the point where you guys are just talking and screaming over each other. I'll be utilizing the mute a lot. I'll be utilizing the mute a lot. If you guys are literally just like interrupting each other to the point where I feel like you guys are just being hats to each other. You know what I mean?
Why is it a fake yawn? Oh my god. Why does it have to be a fake yawn? Another fake yawn.
And other than that, what can you guys...
Doesn't look fake. It doesn't feel fake. It feels pretty real to me.
Please, actually, never mind. No disagreeing. First, how about this? How about you guys disagree? Say to me right now. Who wants to go first in terms of the opening statement?
I don't care. I don't give one.
Okay, Sunday. Who
I waive.
you don't want an opening statement
What?
at all?
I guess just for clarity, the reason why we're talking is because Stardust tweeted Sunday might be racist and anti-Semitic.
Okay, so how about this? For the context of the audience, I will
Oh
pull
my
up
God.
the actual tweet. And so yeah,
an
I'll just
amazing
actually pull
debate.
up the actual tweet.
Amazing.
The actual tweet is this one. Stardust says Sunday it might be racist and anti-Semitic. Why would you justify the actions of Hamas as, quote, ... when brown Palestinians demonstrate against apartheid and colonial state violence at the unappointed time? Do you think this is the only way they can demonstrate? Do you associate all Palestinians with a terrorist group? Is it okay to rape women if they're settlers? Is the only way to correct violence more violence at President Sunday? So that is the context of the tweet. All right, since Sunday yields his opening time,
You're not actually going to take 15 minutes, are you?
I don't think it'll be 15 minutes, no, but we'll see.
How long?
Okay.
I don't want to spend too long here. Just like you, my friends are hanging out, and I would rather go hang out with my friends and act like a minion. So it shouldn't be too long. But you did
Cool.
agree to this, so yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you kind of wanted it, so.
All right, very well. Then, yeah,
Okay.
you may present with your presentation, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I will begin the timer now.
Okay, can I request one thing? Please,
Yes.
please do not interrupt me because I'm giving context for the entire thing, okay?
Oh.
Right. Okay,
Okay.
let me introduce you all to
You walked into a debate between President Sunday and Stardust about President Sunday being called up, I don't know, a racist. Stardust presidential fraud report.
just a second. To Stardust presidential
Presidential fraud report.
fraud report. Okay? Presidential fraud, all right? Let me just make this a little. There we go. All right. You know what? That's fine. Okay. All right. Stardust presidential fraud report. Oh, did my Discord restarted? My Discord restarted.
Meanwhile,
You close the stream.
Well, thanks for hosting Food Shops. Have a good night.
Wait, what?
Hello? Hello?
Wait, hello?
Hi, sorry. My Discord restarted. It always does this. Let me turn back my camera on. Okay. Anyways.
Wait, what the f-? No, he just left after
Why did
you
he
left.
leave? Wait, why did he leave?
He was like, I think he did a bit where he was like, okay, well, thanks for hosting this. Goodbye.
Oh, is that for real what he said?
Yeah, it looks like he was doing a bit. He did a witty bit. All right, that's what he did. Here,
Okay.
I'm typing for him to come back. All right,
Yeah.
but
Will
I
you
think
come
you can
back?
continue. I think you can just continue. Yeah,
My
just
Discord restarted. Please come back. My
it's okay.
Discord
I'll
restarted.
pause the timer. Okay, I'll pause the timer until.
It does this.
So it's over? That's it? That's the debate? That's the segment that I had about oh, okay.
Every time I share my screen.
Yeah, he needs to hear it though. He needs to hear it, so he needs to come back though. Yeah. Wait! Apparently, I heard from my chat that he ended stream.
Did he really?
Let me check.
Chat, can you check? Did President Sunday end stream?
Oh, nah. That's crazy. Wait. What?
He ran? He ended stream.
He ended stream.
Damn.
Wait. Oh.
That's
That's so
good.
sad.
That's so
I wonder why
nice.
he ended.
That's so funny.
Wait, what?
Why? How can you leave? How can you run before the thing has even started? I didn't even make my opening statement.
Moi.
I'm still gonna do my opening statement whether he's here or not. He can be here to rebut it,
What?
or he cannot be here to rebut it. But you know, that's
Well, okay. Well, I guess you know, did he hack your Discord or
no,
what?
he didn't.
Like,
No, it's just my Discord restarts pretty often. I don't know why it bugs out all the time. Maybe I need to like reinstall it or something. But
Oh my God.
but it restarts, so it just takes
Oh
a minute
my-
for it to restart.
To be fair, Stardust is insufferable. I don't blame Sunday. Okay, chat. Press yes if you want me to continue watching this and actually hear the opening statement. Press no if you want me to move on to something else. In the meantime, I'm going to unpause.
Restart, and then I just join back. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you can finish your opening because you were gonna do your opening statement anyway.
Yeah,
Okay, I
mean-
guess we're moving on. Thank you for watching this spectacularly long segment of Okay, that was actually 13 minutes. Thank you for watching this spectacular segment of 13 minutes. If you've thoroughly enjoyed this, then press like, subscribe, hit the bell. That was the highlight of tonight. That truly was the best content of tonight. It's only downhill from here. It's only gonna go burr. It's only gonna, fizzle out to nothingness. Stardust is a drama freak. She's not worth listening to. Okay, then I guess we're moving back to serious topics, unfortunately. You've pressured me into it. I wanted us to stay in the fun times with this, but I suppose we have to get serious. This is very interesting. So we're going to be looking today at a page called tranzycja.pl, like this Polish glossary about trans issues, trans rights, and other things. We're going to be taking a look at it, and you're going to get a glimpse into the Polish trans community. Here we go. Boom, boom, bam. Publications. And yes, there's a Polish version of the page, and this is what we're gonna center our interest on. We have how to start medical transition. What does the social situation of LGBTA people in Poland 2019-2020 report say about trans people? You might as well take a look at this. The recently published report produced together by the Kampania Przeciwko Homofobii and Lambda Warszawa Association is a true compendium of knowledge with over 300 pages of statistics, charts, and percentages. Many people may find it difficult to dig through such a long report, so we try to briefly present a selection of information from the report that specifically concerns the trans community. So we're going to learn about the situation of trans people in Poland. What kind of group of trans people is this study about? The report is based on online surveys published on dating portals, support groups, and LGBTQIA websites. The method of research influenced who the survey could reach. It was necessary to have access to the internet and to be familiar with the above-mentioned spaces. Therefore, it should be very strongly emphasized that the research sample is not representative for all transgender people. It is not the author's fault, as producing a fully representative study is simply not possible because of the specifications of the available research sample. This, however, means that the statistics listed below will not represent the situation of the whole transgender community in Poland, but only the part of the population that has been studied. What are its characteristics? We're doing the LGBT thing now. Of all groups studied under the LGBTQA umbrella, gay, lesbian, asexual, bisexual, female, bisexual, male, and queer, the transgender group is one of the youngest. The average age of trans respondent is just under 23 years old. The median age of the trans respondents has not been reported, but we can estimate that it is even lower, given that for all respondents it is 22 years old. The gender ratio among trans respondents are distributed approximately equally, 47% being non-binary, 27% being trans men, and 27% being trans women. The remaining 7% chose the other option. Compared to the general population, trans people rarely live in the countryside and in small towns, and much more often in big places. This disproportion is more apparent in people over the age of 18, which indicates a tendency to move to places perceived as more accepting. An extremely important piece of information in the context of all the statistics presented below is the fact that the vast majority of people examined have not been through medical transition or are not outed before institutions. Only 2% of transgender people started a medical transition before 2018. Another 8% started it within the last 2 years. 44% of people plan to start medical transition in the following years. 46% do not plan to do it at all. Out of people who have a job, 70% did not disclose their identity to coworkers, 82% to their supervisors. Out of people who are still learning, studying, 73% did not disclose their identity to their teachers, whether at universities or at school. 54% of trans people did not disclose their gender identity to any family members, and 10% to any of their friends. Damn. I do sort of fit some of these statistics if you think about it. What does that mean? This means that this report is for the most part a report on people still closeted on a daily basis. People who have discovered their identity over the last years due to the increase in the visibility of transgender people and who disclose their identity primarily to friends. Interesting. Conclusion. It's not looking too good. However, we do not want to leave you with negative feelings only. With the LGBTQA community, trans people are one of the groups most affected by violence. And although it would be better if they did not need to be, they are also one of the most persevering ones. Oh, well, that makes me feel a lot better. Over the last few years, the visibility of transgender people has increased both in terms of our problems and our unique perspective on gender and sexuality. We're able to organize ourselves take care of each other, support each other, and show that we care. Together with a significant number of people who describe themselves as trans, we can do it better and more effectively. No matter what happens and what your experiences, remember you're not alone. You can always ask for help. Together we can pull through and we can accomplish even more. Wow. Guide for transgender people from Ukraine. This is a guide for transgender people from Ukraine, which will provide them with information on how to safely escape Ukraine and settle in Poland for time being. If that is the country to which you've managed to escape to. In the future, we hope that we will be able to provide additional information regarding the situation in other countries you would prefer to settle in. Interesting, huh? And this is in Ukrainian. The transition, I wouldn't like to have it any other way. Okay, we're gonna have to go to the Polish version. It has more. The Polish version has more stuff. So we might look at the article called How to Recognize That I Am Trans, because it is a very interesting module on non-binary people, or rather on transmedicalism. Okay? So let's go. I'm gonna translate the very important what can I think about? What can I do? What is better not to do? And this is a part that sort of addresses the encroaching problem of transmedicalism. We shall take a look at that. We shall take a look at that and read it right now. Part of the problems which face people wondering about their gender comes from approaching the matter from the wrong perspective. A very frequent source of problems is the approach. And the approach is trying to prove if we are a trans person through comparing ourselves and our experiences, interests, and preferences with what we imagine to be a quote-unquote real trans person. Such approach might feel natural, but in reality, there's a trap hidden within it. Our imagining, our view is basically taken from nothing, but it is based on culture, media, of which we use, and those have a tendency to present a flat and stereotypical image of trans people. By comparing yourself with this stereotype, we can sometimes come to a faulty conclusion that we are not trans, or to force ourselves to meet that stereotype, which would, in our eyes, confirm the transness. Both of these roads may lead to a lot of confusion, or even suffering. To be trans, you do not have to, and this is going to be important. In order to be trans, you do not need to be absolutely certain of your gender from early childhood. In reality, each and every one of us come to our gender at our own pace. And even if a large majority of people will know it in the early stages of their life, for other people that may happen later, during puberty, when being an adult, or even during retirement. Discovering your transness does not always look like a giant light bulb flashing above your head. It can be tied to many years of self-reflection. You do not need to dress in a certain way. According to the stereotype, every trans girl from a young age walked around in dresses, and every trans boy is disgusted by dresses as like nothing else. A man in a dress does not stop being a man, and it does not matter here if the man is trans or cis. Makeup and dress is a part of our personal expression and does not need to conform to a stereotypical look that is associated with men or women. In the same vein, non-binary people are not required to sort of conform to some ideal androgynous look. You don't have to have any specific hobbies or interests. Analogically as above, dividing interest to those for women and men is just sexism. You don't have to have a specific sexual orientation. A very popular type of womanhood and manliness oftentimes is framed through mandatory heteronormativity. A man must conquer and a woman must be conquered. Those stiff gender norms, this stiff connection of gender with sexuality is only a homophobic myth. Transgender gays are no less men than transgender lesbians. And transgender lesbians are no less women because of their orientation. Oh my gosh. You're wrong. If a man was to wear a dress, then they start to burn like a vampire. I'm not wrong. I'm just reading the page. And this is important with our topic about non-binary people. You do not have to you do not need to undergo medical transition. And you do not need to undergo every single treatment that goes into medical transition. In the media world, transness is often portrayed as something to which a key role is genitalia and the sex change operation, to which every trans person must have. Transness is a matter of identity and our social functioning in the world. It is not something that resides in the pants. To undergo medical intervention is an individual matter, and unlike what one might think, it is not the central aspect of being trans. Undergoing a certain procedure does not make someone more trans. An unwillingness to undergo certain procedures does not make someone less trans. The above myths create an image in which a real trans person can only be a person that ideally fits themselves within social norms, social gender norms for women and men. To be a trans person, all you need to do is to identify with a different gender than that which was assigned to you at birth. The only person that can decide about the realness of your transness is you yourself. We really encourage you to reject the caricatures of manliness and women and what is womanly, and to live for yourself and not to live to meet certain social expectations and to not try to fit any norms if you don't want to. So there we go. There we have it. The Polish trans community is not trans mad. Unlike some very strange people like Zonia or what's that person's name? Jenny Matrix? That was the name? Jenny Matrix? So yeah, I guess that's it. That's it. We've streamed for 3 hours. Unfortunately, we will have to cut it short here because tomorrow, or rather today, I'll be going to vote. I'll be voting tomorrow. So instead, I will try to make tomorrow's stream longer to make it up to you. Okay? And so it ends. It has been fun. Thank you all very much. Love and solidarity. We love our non-binary siblings. I'm gonna have to sleep if I wanna vote. Bam. I'm gonna... And we love our non-binary siblings. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I press end stream.